Good morning. It is another day to mind strengthen, muscle strengthen. And today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the mind strengthening part on a completely separate video, because those of you who want to just work out and don't exactly want to hear more detail about mind strengthening might want to just hear this separately. So, give you a little background. I'm in personal training for 30 years. And when I first started my training business, I did it through sheer mind power. I was working in a corporate job. I hated it. I thought I was on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and I would cry every day on my way to work. So what I went to school for, what I went to college for, what I went and spent my time to become was something that made me very sad. I also worked out, and somehow kind of power of the universe, got to do what I love for the rest of my life, up until now. So what I was doing was a marketing manager. One of my people who worked with me had started noticing that I was working out and saying, wait, my people need you, my people need you. But how could I go from being corporate America to doing my own business? And always, maybe since the time I was 16 or 17, I had learned something that if I wanted to get or achieve a goal, write it down. Writing that goal down always worked for me. I would carry it around in a piece of paper in my pocket until it happened. And I really came to realize it always happened. So I just never gave that a second thought. So when it came time to train and say, how am I going to go from a corporate America person to I have my own business and I do what I want to do, I started writing it on paper. I wrote exactly how much people I needed to do to take my corporate salary to my own individual salary. I literally every single day acted as if I had a whole slew of clients, even though I only had one, the one that the person that I worked with gave me. But in my brain, I said, I get up, I go to work, I do all of my trainings, and I have a complete salary, and I have left the corporate job. I'm so excited. I really did that, and that progressed over time. It took about a year and a half. I would give myself a goal on paper. I would say, okay, by June, I'm going to be able to go part-time. And I did. And by next April, I'm going to be able to leave this corporate America job and do what I love to do full-time. And I did. And over the years, it got really, really exciting. I had a lot of clients. And then, of course, you know, anybody who has their own business knows that sometimes it doesn't always pan out exactly the way you want it. So I'd write it on paper again. I would say, okay, I need to pick up some clients. Immediately the phone would ring. It would take a day and I'd have a new client who would give me 2 more clients. Most people advertise. I advertised once in my entire career. One time. How does that happen? It basically is, I feel, the power of the universe. I put it out there. I never, ever, ever was lean on work. As this has gone on into now, I decided I wanted to start reaching out further than just my own local area. I put out an intention in my head that I would like to train on YouTube, and I gave myself goals here. We're hitting the goals. I'm doing what I want to do. It's so exciting. I can't even explain. All right, now to the actual work. When you want to intend something, you need to intend it every day. You can't write it down and run away from it. Write it down and throw it in a drawer. Although I do have my book that has dreams and intentions from 2015 that when I look back 2-3 years later, things I'd forgotten that I'd written down are here, and they actually have manifested. But it's work, and it's not hard work, but it's work where when I get up in the morning, I put my intention out for the day. I never skip that. As my day progresses, sometimes, everybody gets negative and you start to think a negative thought in your brain. I cut it off, I stop that thought, and I replace it with a positive thought. A thought about exactly where I want to be and how I'm going to get there, and I move on. I don't make it that big of a deal, but I definitely do what I need to do to keep me in that positive mindset. Sometimes I ask for things and I'm not quite sure they came out exactly how I wanted them to. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of where you feel like you're going down before you get up. I remember not getting a job opportunity that I was so completely devastated that I didn't get, couldn't understand, and now realize I didn't get that job because a better job was out there waiting for me, one that actually fit in with my training, much better, much more complementary to what I do. So the reasoning behind not getting that job wasn't clear in that week or those couple of weeks afterwards, but certainly is clear now. 2020, as we all know, has been an amazingly ridiculous year for everybody. I had a lot go on negative-wise that I thought was negative, and I realized I got to put a positive spin on it. It had to happen for a reason. Some of it I'm still waiting to find out the reason. Other parts of it I know clearly why they happened. And again, here I am, still doing my mind intentions every day, asking for my positive things that I need. Sometimes I forget or I don't know what I want. I get up and I say, okay, all the things that I've asked for are here. What next? So that's when I know when Riss and I are here together, I ask for a surprise. And I get a surprise. Yesterday I asked for a surprise. What was my surprise? It was a small surprise. I took a walk in a park, and at the very peak of the walk in this park, I looked over and there was the New York skyline. I didn't really expect to be able to see from this part on Long Island the New York skyline, but it was a high point in Nassau County, and yeah, you could see the New York skyline. So yeah, it wasn't the lotto that we're supposed to be hitting, that is $456 million, but it was a pretty good surprise. So you have to kind of enjoy your surprises and take them as they come. I'm going to manifest the surprise today too, because I'm not quite sure what I want. However, in my book, which is filled with surprises and requests and manifestations and intentions from 2015, 2014. I'm going to write one today and look at it in another couple of weeks and see how close it was to becoming true. Now, I know there's also a question on, do you just write it? Well, you're supposed to feel it. Sometimes I have a hard time feeling it. It's hard to feel what you can't feel. It's hard to know how to feel. If you're requesting to be a zillionaire, how do you know what that feels like if you're not one? So it's practice. Just like working out, you get a little stronger in the biceps, you get a little stronger in the mind. And that's the whole practice. Just like yoga is a practice and weight training is a practice, mind strengthening is a practice. So I'm going to go do triceps now and manifest, intend a great surprise for today. All right, set those intentions.